River State High Court in Port Harcourt has dismissed the 7-member Caretaker Committee of the All Progressive Congress in the state led by Tony Okocha, which was appointed by the National Working Committee of the APC. Justice Sika Aprioku, in a ruling on Monday in a suit filed by Sam Etetewon, Bernard Ezemoye, Ezekiel Obom, and others on behalf of the democratically elected APC executive in the state, reinstated the executive led by Emeka Beke as the legitimate leadership of the party in Rivers State. The court issued a perpetual injunction against the Okocha-led Caretaker Committee, prohibiting them from interfering with the Beke-led executive until the end of their 4-year term. Additionally, the court restrained the APC's national leadership from recognizing the Okocha-led committee and directed them to acknowledge the Beke-led executive as the party's authentic leadership until their term expires. The court also criticized the Independent National Electoral Commission for supporting the dissolution of the democratically elected APC executives and warned that leaders of political parties must adhere to their own constitutions and avoid acting recklessly. Justice Aprioku found that the APC National Working Committee failed to justify their actions, which were deemed in violation of both the party's and Nigeria's constitutions. As a result, the court awarded 300,000 in cost in favor of the APC executive led by Beke. The judge dismissed preliminary objections raised by the defendants regarding the justification and the application for joinder by additional parties. Justice Aprioku ruled that the appointment of the 7-member Caretaker Committee led by Chief Tony Okocha was null and void, with no legal standing, asserting that the committee members had no legal existence. Daniel, what is your take on this story?
Well, first, once again, thank you for having me. It's a form precedence. And I hope first, let me even congratulate
Emeka Beke.
Yes, for a relief, at least, let's even say a pending relief. Especially when you go through election at whatever level, at whatever form, and you are elected by members of your political party, and you were dissolved. I could feel the pain, the vision probably that you had for that party that you intend to implement and all of that. But you see, we must also look at what has the Supreme Court said when issues like this come up. Judgments, several judgments, was that you must first explore the internal mechanism of the party to solve that issue. If I was illegally removed, have I exhausted all internal mechanisms to resolve that issue? 1. 2, has the party in itself, because fair hearing, courts will listen to you when you are not given a fair hearing. When you dissolve them, was a committee established that this person should come before this committee to say, I have committed A, B, C, D offenses. Can I have the opportunity to defend myself? That wasn't done by the National Working Committee. I understand that the National Working Committee is the highest organ of the party that runs the day-to-day activities of the political party in Nigeria. 1. 2, they also serve as what you call the oversight function. But do they have that power to dissolve? Because, don't forget this, the same National Working Committee members are also elected members. And at some point, probably somebody resigned or something, that the party in itself has the power to fill that vacancy pending on when an election will take place. Because even the national chairman of the political party, who is the head of the NWC, is not an elected member. But he was brought in when the then chairman Adamu resigned from his position. He was brought in. And so I think that first, it's a relief to
Beke
side, the faction of, if you allow me to say that, of Beke. But again, I think there are certain things we should learn from this judgment. And I think there are certain things that will not stand. One is to say that a perpetual injunction on a political party is an association. No, you cannot. Because I think what the Supreme Court tried to do is that let the court not run the political parties. Allow the people who freely, nobody was coerced, to say this is the party at gunpoint that you must join. That when an association comes freely, they decide themselves to say, we want to belong to ABCD group. They should be allowed to run their activities. But I think on the grounds of fair hearing, I think the court can decide, was this man given a fair hearing? He went through the process. He bought the form. He contested the election. He won election. He is the substantive chairman of that political party. And he was dissolved alongside his executive members in River State. Was that fair? The court can look at fairness. But I think the perpetual injunction to say that this man should run his term for 4 years, it will not stand. It will not stand. The political party can decide and say that from what we have heard, we are dissolving this thing. But I think that, like I said, fair hearing must be given to every members, because as they come to the political party, we are all freeborn, equal members. What just happened is that he was just elected to become a chairman. It's as simple as that. But we are all equal if we belong to that political party. No one is above any other person. And so I think, based on fair hearing, the court can listen to that. That I, the chairman in River State, was never given any fair hearing in any committee, in any stand, to say, let me also defend myself against the allegations leveled against me before I was dissolved.
Now, in your opinion, do you think Beke-led executive, do you think that they explored that alternative to use internal mechanisms to resolve their dispute?
I think it will resolve as which comes first.
Okay.
Because you cannot build, you cannot build anything on a foundation that does not exist. And so the first thing will be, was I given a fair hearing? If I was not given a fair hearing, and I go ahead to explore, how am I sure that I will still be given a fair hearing when I want to explore internal mechanism? So based on that, you would ask which should come first. Should I go to the same party who removed me without first looking at fair hearing? And then would I also get justice when I try to use the internal mechanism?
Now, if I get you right, you are critiquing the National Working Committee that before removal of Emeka Beke, there should have been fair hearing.
There should have been a fair hearing because part of the allegations was anti-party. And I expect that he should receive. It's just like every other place where you work. Whether it is a query, whether it is anything, give it any name. I receive it, reads it, and I should have the right to reply, or have the right to say, I come before the disciplinary committee of the party to say, these are the allegations leveled against you, sir. Can you please defend yourself? Now, in the absence of that, you cannot build anything on that. The man should be given a fair hearing. He's not a wanderer who just trailed into a political party. No, he's the chairman of the political party in a subnational. And so I think that him and his executive should be given a fair hearing. Anything outside of that, you cannot expect the same man who feels that if I wasn't given a fair hearing, should I also go ahead and explore the internal mechanism? Would I be given a fair hearing when that comes up?
All right. Now, Tony Okocha, on the other hand, as a follow-up of the story, has rejected the judgment and has decided to appeal that judgment in court. Now, how do you think this is going to affect APC, particularly in the upcoming local government elections?
First, let me start from where you ended it. I think APC had gone to court to say, restrain the...
To challenge
INEC from releasing. So I want to say that they are not even ready
for the local government election.
That is one.
Now,
Two,
the difference would be, that case was instituted by the Okocha-led faction?
No, it doesn't matter.
All right.
The national body.
He did it in the name of APC.
Yes, the national body, because it was a federal high court.
Okay.
Because INEC was.
Oh, it's also a federal
yes,
body.
Yes, it's a federal high court. And so probably the National Working Committee, the legal this thing of the National Working Committee are also involved. But the idea for me is that what Okocha is saying, I think Tony Okocha here for me is not an issue.
Okay.
It's a product of the remover
of
Emeka Beke. And so, in other words, it is between the National Working Committee and the state, the removed or the reinstated state ESCOs. Mr. Tony Okocha really has no place anywhere.
Because
he didn't put it. Yes, no, he was appointed. So he really his input for me is not something that carries weight here. No. It is between the National Working Committee who appointed him, who gave him power, who invested those powers in him to carry out the functions of the activities of the APC in Rivers State that has a problem with the ESCOs in Rivers State. So whatever that he says, I think that probably he's only speaking as someone who has been removed from office. He's not in law. I don't see him. He has no place. No, because what local standing would he use to challenge an elected officials who were reinstated by the court? No, for me, it's a busybody. It is between the National Working Committee, and I await to see the response of the National Working Committee. If Tony Okocha is saying they are going to appeal and all of that, no. For me, that is a noise by the sideway. Right. I want to hear from the National Working Committee what they have to say.
So
because
your opinion is the National Working
No, it's the National Working Committee. No, it's the National Working Committee.
All right.
Those appeal were, those judgments where if you see the perpetual injunction, because they say his even appointment is null and void. Null and void is that he never existed in the first place. He never existed in the first place. And so there is no local standing for him to say, on what grounds? No. The man who breathed hair into you is the one that the judgment is speaking to, not the child that was given birth to. Tony Okocha is the child that was given birth to by the circumstances that the dissolved body here in Rivers State. So for me, Tony Okocha's case for me is just someone who was removed in office and feels that this is my statement. But ordinarily, I want to believe that his statement doesn't hold waters here. It is the National Working Committee that has something to say here.